Hello, this is Evan Rogerson, and I'm MotorGang here, and today I'm going to be explaining how you can turn a standoff into an axle for your Vex robot. This was a technique I devised over the summer, and it has a couple advantages, a couple disadvantages, but overall I think it's very useful for teams to know. So to start off with, we'll be exploiting a principle in that standoffs and bearings, the high strength bearings, have the same dimensions roughly. In other words, they can free spin. So you can see that's spinning pretty well right there. And then also they can slide up and down, which is what I used on my slingshot for spin up. And that's the same with the high strength pillow bearings, which we don't have a lot of, but I personally prefer these just because you don't have to drill holes and they're going to be a bit easier to use for this demo. So that's just kind of the general principle we'll be using here today, and let's get into it. So let's say this is just a basic setup here. You need a wheel over here and a gear over here. So I think the main use for standoff axles is for things that are over 12 inches, but you don't want to use a high strength shaft for, because as you can see, this gap is longer than any Vex shaft is going to be. So you can't use a regular shaft here unless you use a shaft coupler, but that adds a whole host of other problems. So standoff axles, I definitely think, have purposes outside of things over 12 inches long, but if you are doing something over 12 inches long, I think that's definitely where you'll see them shine. So if you did want to use this, you could use a high strength axle, which comes as 24 inches long, and maybe you don't have the materials to cut this, maybe your club has a rule against cutting, and these are also quite heavy. I mean, this is just a steel rod, and they don't exactly have the best friction. So if you wanted to assemble this, I'll just kind of jump cut to that real quick. So you would end up with something roughly like this. You have some spacers, high strength shaft collars, high strength shaft collar, and gear. And you'd power that, and that would totally work perfectly fine, but it's quite heavy, and high strength axles are not known for having low friction. So an alternative, over the summer, we didn't want to use cut high strength axles just because that would take a lot of time, and we only have a couple of these left, so we didn't want to waste it on just what would be a scrimmage robot. So we devised a new technique in order to do this. So to start off with, you're going to want a washer that's a little bit wider, and you're going to want to use that as thin as possible. And you are going to want a 3/4 inch standoff. Larger sizes will work, but this is going to be the easiest one to go with. And then you're going to want to use probably a longer screw. I calculated this ahead of time and found that black would work best. So what you're going to do is you're going to get this washer on the screw. You're going to get this standoff on and tighten that all the way down. All right, so make sure that's tightened all the way down. Use an open-ended wrench and a driver in order to get that as tight as possible. And now what you have here is this little assembly right here. So what you're going to want to do now is you're going to want to insert this through your bearing. So as you can see, that's in there. There's a little bit of wobble in there, forwards and backwards. So now we're going to get rid of that. You are going to want to get some thin, high-strength spacers, and you want to use the thin ones. It might make a bit more sense to use something like this length, but these, they need to bend out a little bit, and if you try and use the bigger ones, they will likely snap on you, or at least that's what I found. So you're going to want to get these thin ones, and you kind of just have to force them on, but the smaller ones don't break when you do this. So now that you have that high strength spacer on, you can just slide it down, and you want to leave a little bit of wiggle room in there, just like you would with like a shaft collar or something else. And usually this will be good enough if you're not expecting to experience a lot of sideways force, because that's not going anywhere. But if you are worried about this, or you just want the extra security, you can continue to pile on spacers all the way up into the end of that standoff. These are kind of a pain to get on. I ended up taking the bearing off, so I'm not going to do that for the rest of this tutorial, but if for extra security, it's probably a good idea to continue to add those. But it's quite a pain to get these on. It is kind of awkward, so don't worry if you don't get it right away. So now that you have this attached, you're going to want to get a brass insert, and it's very important to use the brass inserts and not the plastic inserts. And you're going to insert that into your gear, and then you're going to want to slide that onto the screw. Then you're going to repeat that process for this end down here. So another standoff on. If you were worried, you would slide some spacers on there. Then we will get our brass insert on, and then the wheel. Now that we have this, we're going to measure out this distance. If you have a CAD of your robot, I would recommend doing that. But for this rough estimate for the video, since it doesn't have to be perfect, I measured this out, and it should be around roughly 11 inches plus 1/8 of an inch. So what we're going to start by doing is by putting our spacers on. It's easier to do these at the end, but you don't necessarily have to. So spacer on the end, and then we're going to go ahead and get this standoff screwed on. All right, so now that's screwed on. use an open-ended wrench and a driver. It's very important that this is tight. So as you spin the standoff, this gear should spin with it just because of the tension holding this standoff into that standoff. You're essentially screwing this brass insert in. And the reason you have to use the brass inserts is because the plastic ones will snap under the force. So now that that's nice and secured, we're going to go ahead and repeat that process over there. All right, so now this wheel is attached, and I did have to swap that out from a black to a white screw just because the screw is sticking out a little bit too much into the standoff, and I forgot that these don't go all the way through. If you hold it up to a light source, you'll see they do have a block inside of them as opposed to these smaller standoffs, which do not have anything inside of them. So now that we have this gap, we know that our 4-inch standoff should roughly fit in between these. We're going to start by getting a 1-inch headless screw, which you can either buy off of Vex, or if you need something longer than a 1-inch headless screw, I've done this before, you can get a nice long screw right here and just take a hacksaw to the end. And now you have like a 2.4-inch headless screw if you need something a bit longer. And you want to thread this in about halfway, so there's about 1/2 inch, which we can just use a spacer for reference and see that that's pretty good. And then we're going to go ahead and get our 4-inch screw standoff screwed onto this headless screw. Now, once this is done, it's really important that you again use an open-ended wrench on this end and you use a screwdriver in there and tighten this down as much as possible. Now that you have these here, you do want to make sure that these line up nicely, which it looks like I did get this correct earlier. And you can see nothing is hitting. So we're going to go ahead and get a 1-inch screw screwed into this part right here. So now that that's screwed in halfway, what I've found to work best is to detach one of your bearings on either side. It doesn't really matter. And then go ahead and screw those in. So let me just take these off. And now that this bearing is off, you're going to go ahead and screw these standoffs into each other by just rotating the entire assembly. Those are attached. Everything is good to go here. You can see we spin that gear, the entire axle spins, and that wheel spins as well. It's pretty low friction. Based on some small testing I did, it does have lower friction usually than a high-strength shaft, but it is going to be a little bit higher than a shaft usually, and a screw joint as well. And then one other feature is, what if you want to add something into the middle of the shaft? Well, we can rearrange things slightly. I'll go ahead and add something down there just to kind of show this off. All right, so now I've taken this part of the assembly off, and we have this threaded rod headless screw back exposed. I'm just going to make this 1/2 inch longer. If you wanted to keep something the same size while adding something in the middle, you would just have to shorten one of these standoffs down. Probably swap that 1-inch standoff out for a 1/2 inch standoff. We are going to want to get it so 3/4 of an inch of this threaded rod are sticking out. So I'm just using a standoff for measurement, not getting anything too exact. A little bit more. And there we go. And this is just going to work for something that's 1/2 inch wide. If you need something longer, you are going to have to cut the head off of one of those longer size screws. So now that we have this, let me go grab something that we can go throw on this middle section. So my apologies, we actually don't have any more brass inserts at KU, so I'm just going to kind of walk you through some pictures that we took for our engineering notebook while we were building our standoff axle for the MOA scrimmage robot. So as you can see, we kind of had this 1/2 inch standoff with 1/4 inch of a 1-inch threaded rod going into each of them. So we could kind of stack this up over and over again to leave 1/2 inch gaps, because the 1-inch headless screw would have a 1/4 inch in the standoff, 1/2 inch with brass insert, and then another 1/4 inch into the next standoff, which allowed us to like chain them together. Alternatively, if you're not looking for a big chain, you could just put a 1/4 inch of the threaded rod into one of your standoffs on the left side, have your brass insert with whatever flex wheel, gear, whatever you want in the middle, and then on the right-hand side, you would then have it go in another 1/4 inch into the standoff. And if you were worried about a 1/4 inch being too little, like I talked about earlier, you could make bigger threaded rods by cutting the head off of a screw. So that kind of wraps up everything with standoff axles. I hope you found this informative, and it's a kind of cool technique. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask about those down below, and I'll be sure to answer those. And consider subscribing so you don't miss any future content. See you in the next one.